Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and welcome all of you back to the 30th character here in the Super Smash Bros. 5 Newcomer Ideas series of videos. This time, we are talking about the third champion on my list from Breath of the Wild, Daruk the Goron. I've already talked about Mipha just recently. She was 2 characters ago, and then, Rivali was about 6, 7-ish. Those are the last time I recorded videos. This time, it's Daruk, and I'll be 3 characters done from the champions, and I just have left to do Urbosa, which she's coming up pretty shortly too, actually. I'll get them all out of the way right off the bat. But Daruk is character number 30. I'm finally in number 30. I've done 29 other characters. I'm on character number 30 right now, and let's get this thing started. 3 reasons why, like always. Reasons why they should be in, they make sense to be in. Moveset ideas, and percentage chance I can see them actually getting in. Now, just like I said with Mipha and Rivali, the reasons for why they make sense to be in, Daruk would make sense to be in, is the same reasons pretty much for Rivali and for Mipha. It is, Breath of the Wild is the most relevant, big, heavily pushed, Zelda game right now. Link is being changed to his Breath of the Wild form, and if he's being changed, him and Zelda always have the same game they reference in terms of what their model looks like, their character looks like. So Zelda's likely going to become Breath of the Wild too. I am assuming there might be a little bit more Breath of the Wild in there because of how relevant the game is, how recent it is, how popular it is, and pushed it is by Nintendo. So if there's a newcomer, chances are it might actually be from Breath of the Wild. And he's one of the major characters in it. He's one of the major 4 champions in the game, alongside Urbosa, Rivali, and Mipha. He's the Goron one. And he's one of the 4 major, dungeons you go to, one of the major storylines you go into Goron City and going into Beast and Divine Beast and, fighting the boss and doing the Goron, canon and all the mountains and lava and everything you'd expect from a freaking Goron level. He's probably one of the more popular characters of the group-ish. I wouldn't put his popularity above Mipha or Urbosa, but he's probably around Rivali, maybe? I don't know. But like I said, Breath of the Wild is super relevant right now, still heavily pushed. It's already impacting the Smash 5 roster in terms of Link, so it's probably going to impact the rest of the game. They're still heavily pushing. It's one of the major releases from the Zelda franchise since years ago with Skyward Sword and with Twilight Princess. And I would include Link Between Worlds in that as well, actually. And he's one of the major characters in the game, so if they want to pick someone from it, he'd probably be one of the champions. He's in that category, so he's possible, I guess. Second, moveset ideas. Like I basically mentioned with Rivali and Mipha, you kind of have to go a little original on these things because we don't really see too much in the cutscenes of them fighting or, and stuff like that. So I had to go, use the cutscenes as a basis to start off on in the game and then kind of expand from there based off their race as well as what those races have done and kind of originate from that. So he's a Goron. So he's going to be a big powerhouse character, but slow. His smash attacks will basically, I don't know if you can really see it in his picture, his little club thing he's holding right here, it's called the Boulder Breaker, and Link can wield it in the game too. So he basically cures. It's not even. It's like a sword, but it's made out of a big giant stone. It's just a big giant stick that he swings around and hits people with. Smash attacks. He'd basically be the heavy hitter. He'd swing around and just cause massive damage. He won't be the super fast character, so you kind of have to be able to time your attacks correctly to hit your opponents and not be a big, huge target. Because he's not gonna be able to swing around he'll be he'll be not super slow, but he'd be a slower character, and that slowness would be, balanced out by him being a powerhouse and be able to do heavy amounts of damage with his attacks. So the Boulder Breaker, that's his smash attacks. Heavy hitting with that, causing massive damage, just swinging it. Maybe he'll spin around with it, or he'll just, just throw it to the ground, or bash, or, swing it in some shape or form that a huge Goron character would swing it with. And you can kind of use the basis by looking at, because it's a weapon that Link can actually get in the game. So kind of base how Link swings it, but just imagine a Goron that weighs a ton more and is a super heavy, big character. Slow it down. Use Link as a basis and then slow it down and make it look more like how a Goron would swing it. And that's his smash attacks. How I would picture him doing smash attacks. His special attacks are when I start getting a little bit more original, a little bit more unique. Now, his special ability that Link in the game can get from him is Daruk's Protection. I basically mentioned this for Rivali's Gale or Mipha's Grace. I'm giving all their special abilities to the characters to be represented in the moveset. Rivali's Gale, I basically mentioned him flying upwards and sending people flying up and hitting people in the air. Mipha's Grace, Mipha could heal herself. Daruk's Protection, it will be like his secondary shield. Every character in the Smash franchise gets a shield, but I'd say Daruk's Protection puts the shield on him, and it's like something you can. It's not. It won't cause you not to get damaged. It won't be a direct shield, but it will maybe half your damage or something. It'll be done in a specific way where it's like strategic, where you can put it on there, and it protects you from damage for a short, like few seconds, or it may be a shield you could hold on to yourself for like 10 to 20 seconds that at least halves your damage or something. So that's one of his special. It's not attack. It's more of a protective, strategic battle strategy type of thing. And then Gorons are known for their rolling. They do the Goron rolls. So how Sonic does his spin dash type stuff, he's going to have the Goron roll. Because you see that Goron roll in every game pretty much throughout the Zelda franchise. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, yada yada yada. The Goron roll, he spins it up, just spins across the stage, and you'll heavily hit someone and cause some damage. And I do think Gorons at some point have thrown rocks, and they eat rocks and do stuff with rocks. So maybe he picks up a boulder and throws it at people. Maybe he can throw little rocks at people. He could maybe pick up and they could do a boulder crash into the ground type of thing. I was thinking Gorons are like these super powerhouse characters that live in the mountains and eat rocks and do stuff with like boulders and rocks. So he picks up boulders and can smash them into the ground, or he can throw rocks at people. So that's like his ranged attack, while his Goron roll is like a distance attack to roll into opponents. And the protective thing would be, Daruk's Protection. So that's how I would represent that in terms of the special attacks. Super heavily hitting Goron rolls, stone and boulder-based stuff, and Daruk's Protection. That would be the special attacks. And the final Smash form has to be the Goron Cannon from Breath of the Wild. He would be the one that goes into the cannon. He'll have one of the Goron worker soldier people fire the cannon. He'll get shot flying up, and he'll crash into the stage, causing a massive explosion that hits people within its range. If you're right in impact, you'll get the most massive damage. If you're at least semi-close, obviously explosions cause you get hit with it, massive damage, and flying off the stage. It has to be the Goron Cannon. That's like the major part of the Goron story in Breath of the Wild, is the Goron Cannon. So he's the one that goes into the cannon, gets shot up into the air, hits the stage with a massive explosion that sends people off the stage. That has to be it. So, to recap, his smash attacks would basically be using the boulder breaker, swinging and hitting people with them. His special attacks would basically be Daruk's Protection that can give him a small shield that halves damage on him. He can do the Goron roll, and he can pick up boulders and smash them into the ground where the characters are lying, or throw little rocks at them. And his final smash would be the Goron Cannon. Now, in terms of percentage chance, the third category of how I see him get in, I basically mentioned this for Rivali. I mentioned this with Mipha. I'm giving him a 60%, because in terms of if they pick the champions that all four of them are on the same category or in the same level playing field of who would they pick. Like Rivali doesn't have more reasons than Urbosa. Urbosa doesn't have more reasons than Mipha or whatever. They all are kind of in a level playing field, so they all have the same percentage chance. But the reason it's 60% chance is because, first and foremost, we don't know if Zelda's going to get a newcomer at all to begin with, because Zelda hasn't really technically got a newcomer since Melee, when they add Ganondorf and Zelda and Young Link. Toon Link was kind of just a retooled version of Young Link, so I'm not going to count him in Brawl. But Zelda's not known in Smash Bros. For getting a new character, so that's why the percentage chance is lowered down, because we haven't seen one in a while. And also, if there is a newcomer, it's not guaranteed it's going to be a Breath of the Wild character. It's very likely it'll be someone from Breath of the Wild that appeared in Breath of the Wild, because that's so prevalent in fixing and changing Link, and more likely Zelda. They pick a character from that, but it's not 100% guaranteed. But I'm picking a 60% chance because I think that's at least a basis for, how I see the champions basically, having a chance to get in the game. And those are my next characters. Those are my next characters. That is my next character in character number 30, Daruk from Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda. In the comment section, what you guys think? think he stands a chance? Do you think he makes sense to be in? What do you think about percentage chance of him being, 60%? Do you agree with it or disagree if it should be higher or lower? What about my moveset ideas or the reasons I think he should be in? Do you think he should be in? What reasons would you give him? What moveset ideas would you give him? We can discuss it down below. My name is Sniper's Fun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day. And I'll see you all later when I finally record character number 31. I'll be going back into retro characters one more time. Next time, the Game Boy owned character, Muddy Mole from Mole Mania. See y'all later. Daruk out.